Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today, we're going to be looking at the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 art book from the special edition. This art book is pretty long. As you can see, it's pretty thick. So we got a good amount of pages. Want to give a heads up ahead of time. There's likely to be spoilers in here. I haven't looked at this book in a little over a year, but there could be some images that some people could deem to be spoilers, maybe not. All depends on your level of what you're willing to accept. So if you haven't played the game before, what I'd recommend you do is put this in a watch later category on YouTube and come back after you've played the game if you're really concerned about that. So I'll do my best not to give any spoilers while I'm looking at the book, but I just like to get that disclaimer out of the way ahead of time because, hey, spoilers are important to me. So for those who don't want to be spoiled on the story, they want to go in completely fresh, I completely get it, and I want to be sensitive to that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the book. Okay, so here we are with the book. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let you take a look at the cover here for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the collected works. And I'm not even going to try that Spanish pronunciation. I think I did pretty good with the Metroid Dread book, but yeah, I'll pass on this one. I got no idea how to say that word. But yeah, we got a few, some Titan ships here. It looks pretty cool on the front cover, so let's get started. Okay, now lovely white pages to start with. Okay, what do we got next? Another white page. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the collected works. And here's one of the most iconic images from the game. One of the most recognizable pieces of art. You got the crew here. You got Rex and Pyra and Nia and Zeke, and you got a Titan there in the background, so it looks really great. Over on the side, we've got a little bit of a introduction, a forward from the executive director. So I'll go ahead and just zoom in on this for you. So if you'd like to read it, feel free to pause it. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and move on to the next page. But I have read it in the past, and you could definitely tell the passion that he and his crew had for this game. And I think that will really come out in the artwork as well as we look through this book. And I think one theme that we'll see as we look through the book is this diamond theme that we see here. That's when you play the game, you'll realize that's related to the battle system, to the blade system. So really cool to see that incorporated here. Really gives a sense of style. So the first section we're going to start with is characters. I'm going to take a little break. You guys won't really experience too much of a break, but after the last book, I realized I'll need to put my hand down at some point so my hand doesn't go numb and I dropped the camera. So we'll go ahead and go through characters, which is probably the largest section of this book. We're going to start with the main character of Rex. So here we got Rex, who in the last video I was portraying. And for those who don't know, the little skit that we did in the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 video that we did for the 2020 Game of the Year, I know some people may have been confused by that skit. That was the parody of the Smash Brothers Ultimate trailer for Pyra and Mythra. Pyra and Mythra got into the game, so if you're confused, I did put a link to that in the comments of that video, so feel free to check that out if you were confused about that little skit that we did. But I had a lot of fun filming that. But yeah, here's Rex, who I was portraying in that. And we got some sketch designs for Rex. And he is known as a diver, which is why he has a diver uniform on. Sounds, probably a little bit lame at first, but it's a pretty cool concept in the game. And I think it really gives the character a lightheartedness as well. Not being like, oh, these, fabled knight to save the realm. It's something a little bit different. I think this is the first time in a game you're playing as a diver and you're the main hero of the game, which is, I think, pretty cool. Yeah, we got his diver outfit there, a little wanted poster. Definitely looking a little more Japanese there than his Japanese anime art. I think it's kind of cool to see sometimes from anime art when they do a little more realistic design, and you see what they would look like if they actually were like Japanese heritage. So yeah, pretty cool there. And we got some sketches of Rex. And here is probably my favorite character of the game is Pyra. Really enjoyed this character. Got a really great character design. Her personality as well really goes through a lot of changes throughout the story. And you really kind of feel some of her joy and pain as we go through the story. More so that she ends up feeling like kind of more the main character than Rex. But yeah, really enjoyed Pyra. Also really enjoyed Mithra. So here we got Mithra, another main character, main blade of the game. And this is in her pre-censored days. At some point, I guess maybe some people were complaining. I don't know if it was maybe like feminist or parents or whatever, saying that she was her clothing was too revealing. I really don't think so. I've seen a lot worse in video games before, but they did make her cover up a little bit from this design. You'd also will see that in Smash. They made her cover up for that too. I didn't really think it was that bad. I think there's a little bit actually worse in this game, but I guess with her being a main character, maybe that was a concern. But yeah, here's Mithra. And we got some more sketches of Mithra here. And here we've got Nia. Nia is another part of the main cast. Pretty cool character and some cool plot twists with Nia as well. Always enjoyed her sarcastic, kind of a crabby attitude. And nice to see that in a female character rather than sometimes your typical male character. So it was kind of cool to see. You get the same like wanted poster here, the same realistic Japanese design, and you got a little funny image of Nia there. Some people like trying to remember back for the game, but I think that was maybe an inside joke in the game. Nia crying and happy, full of emotion. She's probably one of the most emotional characters in the game in terms of wide range of emotions. Joe Mark. Okay, great. I'm really glad we're looking at this book because I had forgotten his name. I don't know how I forgot, but there's so many characters in this game. I guess it's not too difficult to forget a character's name. Joe Mark, another blade. This is Nia's blade. Really cool character, really wise. And just, cat character. I love cats, so really cool to see have a white tiger as a blade. And we got Tora, or as who we'll see a little bit later, probably in a couple pages, Poppy calls Master Pon. We got Tora here. He's one of our he's our resident Nopon character of the game. Let me see you guys' little mechanical skills. Remind me of Tora always reminded me of Sid from Final Fantasy IV. Even just from his character design and some of his mannerisms, I thought that was kind of a cool throwback to a classic RPG. And here we go. Who I was just mentioning, Poppy, as a mechanical blade. We got Poppy here, and some of her. We'll call these instead of sketches. We'll call these blueprints for Poppy here. And we got another form for Poppy here. I think that was called the Mark II, maybe. I can't remember exactly. And here we go. Here's the Mark II as well. And we also see an image of the Mark III. Very cool. All of her Poppy's forms are pretty cool. I really liked the second and third form that she had. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll see a better picture of Form 3. Hey, here's a blueprint right now as well. This reminds me of Mega Man, the beginning of Mega Man X, if anybody's played that in Super Nintendo. Alright, next we got Morag. Morag, another important character in the game. And her military general-like outfit there. You know, kind of cool to see her without her hat on here. It's pretty rare. Usually the professional. Very cool image. You know, Colonel General type pose you see in a lot of Japanese anime art. Actually, going back to Mega Man X, again, it reminds me of the Colonel from Mega Man X4. And some more images of Morag without her hat helmet on. And next we got Brigid, another blade. And really cool character design. You'll see that you know, she's a flame type, obviously. You'll see the flames incorporated like in her hair, her sleeves of her arms, and then even on her boots where her legs are. Even on her whips there, you see the little flame whips as well. Really cool character with Brigid. All right, next we got Zeke. Zeke, your typical strongman character. A little bit of comic relief character as well. Really enjoyed him. Didn't really enjoy him later on, but you know, early on he was, you know, nice little comic relief. And next we got Pandoria, another blade character. And this is, as you can see, if you want to take a quick guess on what type she is electric. Really cool they incorporated light bulbs in her design. You know, a little ribbon in her hair, and her tail as well. And her shoulder pads. Yeah, I forgot about the shoulder pad. Yep, so her shoulder pads are light bulbs as well. Now, real typical strongman here. We got Van Damme. Van Damme over here looking like Daruk from Breath of the Wild. So yeah, he's pretty buff, that Van Damme. So another strongman character in the game. And here's Van Damme with some blue hair. You know, kind of reminds me of a Breath of Fire Ryu character. Maybe if, you know, he hit the gym and ate, you know, 10 steaks a day. And we got another blade. We got Rock. And took a guess at what type he'd be. Obviously, he'd be a wind type blade. I always wondered what he was carrying in these bags. I don't remember if we ever really found out, but interesting design nonetheless. Malthus, another main character. Let's see, they started with some sketches at first here. It's kind of cool. Okay, here's a Malthus. Next we got Jin. Jin, again, a lot of these characters remind me of some other either, you know, video game or anime characters. Jin reminds me of General Zex from Gundam Wing, if anybody's ever seen Gundam Wing. So he's got the white hair, he's got the mask. You know, it's just missing his Epion or Tallgeese Gundam. Yeah, we got Jin here, Jin without his mask. Also, without his mask, he also reminds me of another character. Reminds me of a little bit of Cecil from Final Fantasy IV. Cecil from his Final Fantasy Dissidia artwork, which is a little bit different than his, you know, typical game artwork. But again, reminded me of him. Maybe that's why I like this game so much. It just reminds me of so many classic games. We got Malos. Another cool character in the game. And I always want to say he kind of copied my haircut, but that's okay, Malos. You know, please don't kill me. But yeah, really liked his design too. And again, reminded me of Dark Knight Cecil from Final Fantasy IV with his armor. Really cool design with Malos. Alright, next we got Akos. Yeah, if I remember correctly, he's more of like an engineer type character. You know, I wasn't a big fan of Akos, but not gonna like everybody in the game. Petroka, she was okay. She was an okay character. Oh, I think this is the first time I realized this. Never realized in the game, as many hours I played, she's got platform shoes on. I guess she's shorter than we realized in the game, her actual height. That's pretty funny. Okay. Got some sketches. All right, next we got Mikhail. There's some pretty cool story with him. He's a little annoying at first, but his character, he grows on you a little bit. Another one of our drivers here. Alright, and then we got some miscellaneous characters here. With the little child emperor. The hooded man, I don't know who that is. It might be Adam? Not sure. And then we got Nora. And we got Hayes. I really liked Hayes. Hayes was a nice character. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it does add. Okay, sorry. I didn't see the names here at the bottom. Yeah, Emperor Nile. Yep, this is Adam. And I said Nora. It's Laura. My bad. My bad. Must have been thinking of like Nora Jones or something. And then we got Fan. Another name is Hayes. Characters have multiple names in the game. I really know her more as Hayes. We got one of the kings of the game. And again, kind of a really cool design with the king. Not your typical, golden crown and red robes, with, adorned with gold. Very cool, unique style to the game. You're not going to see a king that looks like this in any other game. Really enjoyed some of those designs. We got one of the queens here. Didn't really like her design too much, although it really fit for the area that she was queen of. Yeah, I felt like she was kind of an underutilized character of the game. If I had, one of my very few criticisms of the game. We got Cole, minor character. We get into more minor characters of the game. Some of our Nopans. We got Dougal and Lila. Lila was one of my, I think cooler characters for me. And then that's my cat. Joining the party here, Brana. We got Seaver. Just some blades from the game. We won't go through all the names. We'll go through these a little quicker. We've been going through some of the pages. Some of our miscellaneous blades. You'll actually grow to not like these blades. And if you played the game, you'll know why. If you haven't played the game, you'll find out why. And some more miscellaneous blades. Some more miscellaneous characters. Our NPCs. So we're going to go through these NPCs about just as fast as we breeze by them in the towns. No one cares about you NPCs. Alright. Got some Nopans. And we'll slow down once we get to some more interesting art. But I do want to make sure that you have a chance to see all the artwork in this book. So if I'm going too fast for you, feel free to pause but I don't want to talk about every single character, nor do I remember everything about every single NPC in the game. But you can definitely tell even the NPCs got a lot of attention with their artwork. Getting some more miscellaneous art now. Here's Rex in his diver costume. We got some sketches of some of the crew. A campfire. I don't know what those people are in line for. Oh, I do. I'm not gonna say, but I do remember. I do remember what that's all about. Really love this artwork. Rex and Pyra here, standing on the cliff. Another, there's like girl talk over here. And I'm not gonna say too much because it's got some scenes here. Nothing too groundbreaking as long as you don't have an explanation. I don't think you're going to have too much trouble. Okay, so next we are into the enemies category. So I think we'll keep on going. My hand's feeling all right, so we'll keep on going. Speaking of Gundams, definitely looks like a Gundam here. There's Gargoyle. And there's Lila again. Got some blueprints for Lila. Sketches. The Colossus. Not from X-Men. Some more sketches. And we got Siren. One of their cooler weapons here. Some miscellaneous enemies. Kind of looks like Red 13 a little bit there. Yeah, really cool. Some really cool designs in this game. Really cool enemies. You know, I really enjoyed fighting most of the enemies in the game. When you spend almost 300 hours on a game, it's got to have a lot of good stuff in it. So even the enemies, as you can see, a lot of work went into everything in this game. I think it's even a disservice to even call it a game. It's really more of an experience, if I'm being honest with you. Which I am. Okay, we're gonna go through some of these enemies a little quickly because kind of like the NPC enemies here. Some of them. Let's get some of the big guys here. I think those were called, were those called Ochos, just like in Final Fantasy maybe? I can't remember. Very, very similar enemy. The status elements. Very cool design. But if you were going to do a new area and you weren't quite leveled up yet, you want to stay away from these guys. And the way encounters work in Xenoblade Chronicles games, it's typically you don't have too many random encounters. Most of the enemies you can see and kind of avoid on the screen, as long as you can avoid their line of sight or radar. Against more of the evil-looking enemies as we graduate on from the more nature-like enemies. Now we're on to the Titans. Again, not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. Well, we got a Gramps here. Everybody's favorite Titan, and also probably most people are familiar with, even if they haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Gramps is actually a stage in that game. So actually, take a look at this art here. Pretty cool. More Titans. And I'm going to cover something up so you don't see any spoilers. This could be something spoilerish if you saw the name. So I covered that up. You're welcome. Again, try to do my best here with the whole spoiler thing. This one reminds me of the again, going back to Final Fantasy IV again, the lunar whale. It really reminds me of that. And the Titans, you know, they play an important role in the game, as most things in this game are. Do play important roles. Some airship designs with Titans as well. Doing pretty good with the book here. We're a little over halfway through. So I think for some of the stuff we're going to kind of cruise through it. So I can't talk too much about what we're looking at, just because of the spoilers. And you know, maybe you can play a game while we're doing this book. You know, how many times am I going to say spoilers? Do a drinking game or a counting game. Locations. Okay. Really cool design there from Argentum. Really gives you a feel of what you, the area that you're in with this artwork. It's really kind of cool. Cool to see that. Cool to see that they had all this artwork, even for look at this, even for like the inn area. Very nice, very nice. You know, the main deck. You've got a very royal setting here. And this is some beautiful artwork here of Urea. This is one of the more, probably the most beautiful area of the game. I remember when you arrive in this area, just being really floored by the art design of the area that you're in. A little dreary at some parts, but when it really opens up, you really get to see a lot of nice environments in that section of the game. It's got some more areas here. There's more of more like rural designs here, more country-like designs. So we got a workshop here. Really cool design here. Looks like a little bit something that you see, like maybe a little like temple from Breath of the Wild. It's kind of like that. We got Rex here. We see one of our characters. It's been a little while. As we've been going through the book and looking at all these locations and enemies, we see one of our main characters again. A lot of times I put the main characters in those images to kind of give a sense of scale for how big an environment might be. Just remember again, while they did create this artwork with a lot of passion, it also has a usefulness to it as well. More military like zone here of Indal. Military and at the same time somewhat religious as well, as you can see from the images. There's Rex again. Although, kind of funny to see Rex with blonde hair there. I'm guessing this was early prototype art there, very early on. As we know, Rex is a guy with brown hair, not blonde. We got an airship here. So I hope this is giving you an idea of the scope of this game. The vast amount of different environments that you'll encounter. Again, this is what, if you watched my 2020 Game of the Year review, as we talked about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a little bit, you're gonna spend some time in this game if you're gonna play. If you haven't played it yet, and you see there's a lot of locations. And one of the great things I didn't talk about this in the review. And now I think about it, it's probably a little bit of a disservice. The music in this game is probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in a game. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I don't recall a track that I really, didn't like. Yeah, the music was excellent. So when you're traversing these areas, sometimes you might not want to go another area. Or if you get a night cycle and the music changes a little bit, you're like, oh, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. You want it to go back to day because you wanted to keep hearing the music. The music is really excellent. You'll really, really enjoy the music and the environments in this game. And the only way you might not enjoy this game is, as far as I can tell, is if you don't like more like the Japanese anime style artwork and some of the storytelling that's like an anime. That's because this can be a little bit like anime with its storytelling, and also time. If you don't want to sink in that many hours into a game, then this might not be for you. But I still say give it a shot, because maybe you don't realize that you have it in you, that you can really play a game of this magnitude and this length, and maybe this will open things up for you. All right, well, now we're on to the weapons section of the book, and we're getting pretty close to the end, so I think I'm going to keep on going. I don't think I'm going to take a break. We're gonna power through this, guys. Even though the weapons are probably going to be pretty cool, and I'm going to spend a lot more time on them. And we got Rex here. Some of his weapons. There's Akos. Kind of a weird transition to go from Rex to Akos, but whatever. Yeah, the blades of this game, as they're called, the weapons. Very, very cool designs. Even the regular enemies have cool weapons. The artists they got, whoever did the weapons, they have probably numerous artists. Really creative individual. I'd like to talk to him and shake his hand, or her possibly, if they spoke English, which they probably don't. So that probably wouldn't be a great conversation to have unless we had a translator. But yeah, really cool. And I used to, when I was in school, I used to love drawing these weapons. And on my homework, I'd be drawing like swords and bow and arrows and things like that. And I'm surprised, these days that probably wouldn't be a good idea. You probably get the police called on you or something. But I just love the design. Love design of like all these weapons. You got some whips. Some more swords. We got our more sickle-like weapons here. And our gauntlet gun-type weapons. We got some hammers, hammer blades. These were either short blades or dual blades. I can't remember the names of these. They're different type of blades. Maybe they were katanas. I can't remember. Oh, we got the ball weapon here. Kind of a cool little different thing that you don't see in a lot of games. I think they were called maybe orbs. Can't remember the exact name of those weapons. And they got the more gauntlets here. And objects. Alright, so we're going to go through. I think this is our last section of the book. We're going to keep on going. So yeah, just about done. We got about 20 more pages to go, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Got some maps. And for you arcade enthusiasts out there, there's even an arcade game in the game. I can't see the name there, but I remember the name. Tiger. Really cool design. Now that I think about it, I'd love to have this arcade in my game room. I don't know what would even be on it, but just to have this design in my game room, that would be really killer. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. Alright. More objects from the game. We're probably going to cruise through some of this stuff. Well, it's really great that they put a lot of thought into these objects. This is kind of a little bit of the boring side of the book. You might find some cool objects here. Oh, a table. Very cool. Yeah, it looks kind of like my table here, actually. Huh, fun. Some lamps, chandeliers. Yeah, so you guys are doing some home redecorating. Hey, maybe if you got your girlfriend or wife or whatever, whoever you're with, have them take a look at this section of the book. This could be a couple experience. Hey, look, hey, honey, we can decorate the house. Look at these jars. Yeah, maybe don't do that, guys. Get handed some divorce papers. Some of the food items in the game. Got air balloon. Scrolls. So we're gonna go through this a little bit quicker. Rugs, more furniture. And the cat. That's right, the cat makes noise from the book. That's where it's coming from, guys. All right, great. We are at the end. We got a little Xenoblade logo there. Very cool. Such as the Aegis logo. And we got some white pages in the back there. And here's the back cover of our book as well. And we got some nice holographic foil. Some of the logos of the game. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for joining us for this dive into the book for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Actually, this should have been the front cover. This looks a lot cooler than the front. The back cover is a lot cooler. I didn't really pay attention to the back cover. The front cover is okay, but it doesn't really tell the story of the game at all. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the back of that book. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, very, very cool to see this is one of our Titans here. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Really enjoying doing these art book viewings with you guys. I hope you're enjoying them too. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying them. if you have any tips or suggestions, if this isn't enjoyable in any way, let me know. I'd love any feedback, whether it's positive or constructive, even negative. Hey, let me know. And just to give you a little heads up, as talking in the other video, I said that we go over some of that damage. This is the damage from the shipping. Yeah, if you're ordering something from eBay, make sure they send it to you in a box and not in a slightly padded envelope. Yeah, because this might happen to you. It's okay. As you see, the book itself is fine. It's just kind of more the cover that's an issue, and the game box. But yeah, thanks for joining us again. This has been Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Collected Works Edition. We do have one more art book to go through. We'll be doing that at a later date. It's a Japanese import book of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, given to us by Jax Raxer, a great friend of the channel. So we'll be taking a look at that. It'll be probably a little bit later of a date. There's some other things I want to get through. I don't want to spend all of our time on Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So yeah, we'll be on the lookout for that and some other great videos coming your way. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.